Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Draw here on Art by Flam. Today we're doing another little bit of fan art. This time it is for the wonderful game Undertale. Now, if you haven't heard of Undertale, I don't know where you've been for the past, 4 or 5 months, but it has literally taken over the entire internet. No matter where you go, you're gonna see something about Undertale. So of course, I had to give it a try when I heard about it, and I really enjoyed it. It's hard not to enjoy this game. I mean, you can, I've seen people who are like, it's okay, and I really like it, or I've never seen anybody who's actually played the game outright say, I hate Undertale, it was a bad game. But anyway, off the subject of whether or not you like the game, of course I had to draw one of my absolute favorite characters, Muffet. Probably my most favorite character is Mettaton, but Muffet is definitely a close second because she's so cute. Oh my goodness, she is so cute. And it's funny because in real life, I hate spiders. I can't stand spiders, but when it comes to fictional characters who have spider-like attributes, I am all about them. And of course, Muffet is absolutely adorable, is absolutely surrounded by spiders and sweet treats and tea times, and I absolutely adore her, so I had to draw her. Again, this week, the sketch was originally done in my sketchbook rather than digitally, because I have a bit of time to sketch while I'm at work, so a lot of the things that I end up really liking come out of my sketchbook while I'm on break or whatever at work. Again, done just in a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook with a light blue color erase pencil. And again, I really love color erase pencils. My terracotta and my light blue are almost nubs at this point. I had to buy replacements when I went to the art store earlier in the week, so I'm really loving those. The longest part for this particular piece was actually the line art. I don't know why it just took me so long to do the line art. Could have been all the ruffles, all the arms, who knows, but it took me so long to do line art for this one, and I really had to speed it up to keep the video at a reasonable length, because the line art itself was, a good 2-hour jaunt to finish, and maybe I stopped and started a lot, I don't know, but it just took me a while, and I've never drawn this many arms on a character before. Normally I'm not so great with arms, but I kind of like how hers came out. Like, the way she's built is really interesting because her sprite has like her arms on her shoulders, arms on her sides, and then like arms on her waist for all 6 of her arms, and it's really interesting. Like I said, I really love her design. I'm so glad she made it past the initial Patreon goal. Kickstarter goal, sorry, when the game was on Kickstarter, because she's absolutely adorable. I love her song, I love her battle, she's absolutely cute. And here I am taking it into Photoshop to do my base colors. Again, I keep telling myself that I'm gonna break that habit, that I'm gonna not just do them in Paint Tool SAI, but I'm such a liar. I'm never gonna break the Photoshop habit. And for a second there, you saw the colors flash, and it took me quite a while to figure out how I wanted her colored. She's not exactly based on her official sprite color. She's definitely more purple than the reddish, because her skin is in the official sprite, it's actually sort of bluish, and her outfit's sort of reddish, but I don't know, I get a really big purple vibe from her, so I tweaked everything to be a little bit more purplish than her sprite originally intended. And I love my teapot. It's not the best teapot I've ever drawn, it's not the best teapot anybody's ever drawn, but I love my little teapot. It's so round and sad, and I love it. I'm just putting the details on her sleeves here, and there's a lot of different layers of purple on this particular one. Like, the color on her sleeves was not the same as the color on her bow of her apron there, and those weren't the same color as what her gloves were, and so I just ended up having a whole bunch of different colors, and it was a little tedious at first, but I don't know, I think it came out really nice, and I really enjoy all those different shades of purple. It came out really nice for her. And I know in the game you can get spider donuts, so I had to include some donuts and of course cake, because cake is like the quintessential tea treat. I don't know if that's just me or anybody else, but it's definitely the quintessential tea treat for me. When I picture somebody having tea, I picture them having cake as well. And of course this also isn't her sprite outfit, the outfit she wears in the game. I just designed a dress for her because if there's one thing I love, it's to design dresses for characters who don't normally wear dresses, or I feel like could use a dress. So yeah, I definitely had fun designing this particular outfit, especially with the spider motif. And I'll never get over how I hate spiders in real life. Like, I hate spiders in real life. But you give me a character that's cute with a spider motif, and I am all about that particular character. So yeah, I'm just putting the finishing touches on her eyes here. Like I said, oh, and multiple eyes is another thing I've really been big on. Like, a lot of sketches in my sketchbook have multiple eyes. So I don't know where that kick came from, but I'm not complaining because I really enjoy it. Just finishing up the details on the little bits around her. Like I said, you can see the colors flashing on and off, and it's like, what is that? That's my color key. Like I said, I had a hard time deciding on the colors for this particular piece, so I did spend quite a bit of time, working them out under the line art once I'd finished it. And here we are moving on to the shading. Of course, I added the T there second, so I had to draw that line art in before I could continue with the shading. Like I said, there it is. Yeah. Gosh, it's such a long piece. And here I am just adding the details on the donuts. I made it a brighter color first so I could sort of see it, and then I changed it to the traditional purple that it should have been. I do that a lot, just make things brighter colors so I can see them while I'm working and then change them later. Just working on the design on the teapot. Like I said, I went through several designs on the teapot before settling on what I did, and even then I was sort of like, I'll try the polka dots. So I like how it came out. I wish maybe I should have done like hearts or something. I don't know, but I'm okay with how it came out. Because it matches the sprinkles on the donut and the little dot on the cake. And here I am making her eyes a bit more purple. Like I said, I wanted her less of her traditional color palette and more of a purpley color, which is why everything is so many shades of purple. And here I am just adding the spiderweb motif to her dress, which I really like. It was sort of a last minute idea in the initial sketch, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I wanted to make sure it was included in the final piece. So that's what I'm working on here. Excuse me. So yeah, that's, I always run out of things to say. I say it every time, but I'm always going to run out of things to say. And then I find something new to talk about. That's always fun part about doing YouTube. And I'm moving on to her hair here. And normally I like to draw a lot of hair, but, sometimes it's nice to draw not a lot of hair. I think all of my other pieces that I've posted have had either a lot of hair or a decent amount of hair. And so it was nice just to do a little short-haired character because it's always bouncy and cute, and it makes me focus on the shading more to give it more depth and shape. Her little pigtails are just so cute. She's so cute. That's why I had to. She's just so cute. I've also been working on faces, shading my faces like I said I would, but of course she threw a curveball with having more than 2 eyes, so I did the best I could. Moving on to shading all of her arms. Like, I've never drawn a character with more than 4 arms, I'm pretty sure. So 6 arms is a bit of a challenge because sometimes I have problems drawing 2 arms. So 6 arms was a fun experiment to do. Just working on the shading on her dress. Maybe I should have sped this clip up more, but I feel like if I sped it up anymore, you wouldn't be able to see what I was doing exactly. So that was kind of my fear with the line art, but the line art was such a long clip that I had to really speed it up to keep the video at a decent length. So you probably won't be able to see much of what I'm doing with the line art, but you can see it magically getting done. And every time I saved, Tool SAI acted like it was going to crash, but then it didn't. So every save was like painstaking of please don't crash, if you crash please save first. And just working on the shading on her dress. I feel like I had the right idea with shading her dress, but I feel like, I don't know, it feels okay, but it doesn't, I don't know, I think when I go in and add the gradient it looks weird, but I don't hate it. It just looks, I don't know, not how I was expecting or something, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm overall happy with this piece, except for maybe her head. I feel like it's turned too far. So maybe it looks like we got some exorcist stuff going on. But hey, she is a spider, so maybe spiders are really flexible. I don't know. I don't really like spiders. I don't know much about them. All I know about spiders is I don't like them, and I don't want them in my house. If I see a spider in my house, it's got to go. I don't care if I have to kill it or set it free. I don't want to touch it, and I don't want it in my house. One of the perks to living on a second-story apartment is you don't get many of those. That was one of the best things about moving to to the northern part of the United States was I was usually originally from the southern United States, and we had spiders everywhere all the time. But moving up here, where it's cold most of the year, spiders don't want to hang out, don't want to chill in the cold weather. So I don't get to see them very often, and for that I am very thankful. They can stay away from me. So here I am just putting the finishing shading on her lips and her face, and oh, I almost always forget her bows. This entire thing, I almost forgot to color her bows. I forgot to shade her bows. I forget to do the gradient on them. So they got the short end of the stick on this piece. And just shading the cups and the cakes and all that jazz. I don't know why when I first did the sketch, the cake gave me trouble. And same with the donuts. Like, I guess I'm not used to drawing them. I didn't really have a reference, but they're supposed to be cartoony and not really realistic anyway. So I guess it came out alright. There I am reshading the liquid. I initially wanted to do like an internal shading for it or something, but I didn't like how that looked, so I changed it up, as you can see. Here I'm just going in and putting in the highlights on her hair and a couple of other places. The best thing about short hair is I don't spend, the majority of my time shading the hair, and I can actually get a lot of other things done. And here I'm just taking it into Photoshop to work with the hue and saturation of the shadows again, just to make sure everything's nice and neat. I actually had this opened in a secondary window too, so I could see the color variation. Like, my tablet screen has a different color variation to my actual monitor. So usually when I do things like this, I have it open in 2 windows so I can see that it's going to look okay on both monitors when I finish, because I don't really know everybody else's monitors, so I just go by what I've got and sort of hope and pray it looks okay on everybody else's. But that's the struggle of the digital artist, isn't it? It's like, it looks good on my monitor, does it look like crap on yours? Only, all the comments can tell us that. And of course, here I am adding the gradients, or I had just added the gradients. And I think here I am going in, and I've changed the color of the line art. So my initial idea was to make everything purple, but the to show up in her hair, the lines would have to be so purple they were almost black anyway. So I changed everything else to a darker purple, and I just redid her hair in black so it could stand out against the darkness of her hair. And so now I'm moving on to work on the background. The background I had in mind when I originally did the sketch, so I was just sort of, it was one of those easy instances where, I can finally just put this in and I got an idea and I don't have to sit around with it for, 2 hours trying to think of something to do for the background. So it was just, a simple little background, some hanging down spiders. And originally, I think the little spiders I made were cute. Originally what I did was I just drew the lines in with the rectangle tool, but I didn't care for that, so I end up taking it, here I am, into Tool SAI and drawing them in, and then bringing that spider web motif back into the image. I was originally going to do it like on the bottom, but it was just looking silly, so I just did it on the top. And I feel like there was a lot of empty space in this background. Like, there's too much of the background purple, so you'll see me several times trying to put in like gradients and stuff, but I don't particularly like it, so I end up just leaving it with the purple background, even though I feel like that's a little vague. And so here I am just adding a ring to sort of fill that out. So while I'm finishing that up, we're going to slowly transition into the finished piece. And of course, you can see the full thing on my DeviantArt, which is linked below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. See you guys.